So I want to talk about this fight. Now, this fight's really fun. It's pretty easy. This shit right here is just an AoE. There's not very many things you have to look out for in this fight. Okay, this ability right here, Shining Saber. That's a party stack. All right, so this crystallized shit, see this water stuff? So that means that there's gonna be 2 light parties because it targets both healers with like a party soak. Typically, you know, you mark 1 healer with 1 healer with 2. All right, so you got 1 group, 2 group. And then she's gonna do a mechanic. So it's like 2 mechanics. All right, see this red? The red means get in. It's gonna be a chariot. So all this area, if you're not in this circle and you're out here, you're gonna get hit. So it's gonna be in. And then, because it's water, it's going to be light parties. Okay, so see these light parties? Boop. See that shit? All right. And this is just a tank buster. Both tanks have to stack. But you can home gang it if you want. You know? Doesn't matter. You home gang it. Have both tanks stack. Doesn't matter. You have so many cooldowns. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Doesn't matter. All right. So this right here. How do you say this? Areola. This means sides. You need to get on the sides. This is what it's going to do. So this is where you want to be. So you can use this little arrow here. See this little arrow? Whenever she does aerial or whatever, you can just stand right here and you'll be safe. It's all on the sides. Now there's another version of that. There's the lateral, and how I remember it is I think of like lats. You know, like they're on my, you know what? You can think of it however you want. But the lats, the sides, the laterals, you need to be in front and back. Arrow on aerial, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is just another crystallized shit. Okay, so this is ice. Now, before we had water. So water is the 2 party stacks. Ice is a spread. You can't be stacked. Water, light parties. Ice, spread. All right. Now, remember the red was the dynamo, so you need it to be in. The green, you have to be out. So this mechanic is going to be out and then spread, all right? So out and then spread. And then there's one more. There's one more like variation. This is just another AoE, just whatever. Yeah, green out, red in. Okay, now see, here's the lateral. So this is, you're going to be in front and the back, all right? Okay, now this is the last one. This is going to be blue. Okay, so it's water and then this blue right here. Okay, that means it's a cross. So what it's going to do is it's going to hit like this. It's going to hit like that. So you need to be like right here, you know, right here. So the order of mechanics this time was water and then in. And then it was blizzard, which is spread and then out. And then this one is cross and water again. But if you see an earth, like it looks like a rocky animation, then that means party stack. If it's not water here, then it's going to be an earth, like an earthy animation. And it will mean stack, so just move into the boss. So cross and then light parties. Boop. Okay, and that's the whole first phase. Easy. Easy game. Now this phase looks kind of crazy, but it's actually super easy. Okay? There's 2 ads. This guy here and this guy over here. Typically, if you're the tank that's in party 1, you're going to grab the west ad. If you're in party 2, you're going to grab the east ad, just typically. Might vary from party finder to party finder. But anyway, so during this phase, there's 2 ads. And there's all these crystals. They get a damage up if you stack them, but the damage up for some reason, it's really not that bad. So you just stack them. Fuck it. You just stack them and you cleave them down. However, you see how this crystal right here is glowing? You have to pull the ads away from the glowing crystals. So like in this case, me and the other tank, we're gonna pull these ads south. We'll start near D. And then what you normally do is you go like clockwise. So because we're at D, the DPS, you have to DPS these crystals down. They're going to start here and work their way this way. And after they kill these crystals, the tanks being here, we're going to move this way. So basically the whole party's going to like shift clockwise until all the crystals are dead. So see how these crystals down here, they're not glowing? So you just pull the adds, and you can pretty much ignore these tethers. The only time that these tethers matter is when they're trying to DPS this crystal, and that basically this crystal, that the one they're trying to DPS, the add's too close. And when the add's too close, it'll tether to it like this. The fact that the adds are tethered to these crystals right here doesn't really matter because they're not doing damage to these crystals. But this crystal here, here, and here, they're not tethered, so the DPS are going to kill them 1, 2, 3. And when they kill this one, these two adds, we're going to shift this way. And you can, you know, you can cleave them down. You won't deal very much damage to like the crystals. Like see, you only do like 264, you know. And then you just move clockwise. The group on the other side moves clockwise. These adds, they hit like hard enough to kind of be annoying. So make sure to use your CDs, you know. But yeah, pretty much that's just the add phase. You just pull the adds together, either north or south, depending on where the crystals are glowing. If the crystals are glowing south, you pull them north. If they're glowing north, you pull them south, like in this example. And then you just burn them down. Tanks adjust. Yeah, they're not used to that. Here, let's give some hair to this streamer. All right, this is just the ultimate, you know, just the normal. Yeah, that's just normal shit. All right. Now, this is phase. Well, I guess phase 3, whatever. The next phase after the ads. Okay, so Halo is just an AoE. That's all it is. Okay, light wave. All right, so on light wave, it's basically gonna make these waves appear. There's gonna be these crystals around the arena. There's gonna be one here, one here, one here, and on the opposite side, there's gonna be the same. So there'll be like one here, and one here. For the first set of crystals, if you notice these waves, right? They're kind of leaning towards this side over here. Basically, if you stand in the path of the wave will deal damage to you and kill you. So you don't want to be here. So you need to LOS these waves, because when these waves hit the crystals, they're going to like explode. So what the party needs to do is, since there's no wave over here, the party is going to go on this side right here. And you're going to stand behind this crystal. Now, if this wave right here, let's say this wave number 1, let's say that it was over here. So then it would look something like this. Well, then in that case, you would just move to this side. So basically, you just like look and see which crystal is not in the path of the wave, and you just go behind it. And then you want to position yourself to where your line of sight from this one and this one. So there's the first explosion right there. See how it blew up? This is the second explosion from that one over there. Now, ooh, I ran right into that wave. Okay, remember I told you the wave did damage? Okay, now this part is just a little tricky, but not too tricky. After these crystals blow up, if you notice, there's conveniently 3 crystals. This infralateral arc. What this does is it's going to target a DPS, a healer, and a tank. And it's going to do a massive cleave. So what you typically do, what Party Finder does, is you put the healer here. So basically, once you move behind here in LOS, the healer just kind of stays pretty much. And then the DPS move behind this crystal, and the tanks will move behind this crystal here. So in the Party Finder, you'll probably see it, healer stay, DPS mid, tank far. That's what it means, because this is the mid crystal, this is the far crystal, and this is the close crystal. And again, the reason why you want to split people up like that is because of this cleave that she's about to do. So there's one, she targets the DPS, she targets the healer, and she targets the tank, and then she targets the healer. So you LOS, so LOS the waves, wait for 1, wait for 2, and then you split into your groups. So the DPS will go behind that one, the tanks will go behind this one, and the healers will stay over there. All right, and then she's just going to summon more light waves. Is it okay for tanks to run through the waves? I mean, if you're a fucking warrior, then it is, because that's man mode shit. You don't need any healers. But if you're playing some pussy ass fucking Dark Knight, then probably not. All right, so here's another light wave. Okay, now if you notice, the crystals are a bit different here. The crystals are no longer like here, here, and here. Instead, it's like this. Now this first move right here, Hero's Glory, this really easy. You just literally stand behind her. So there's this long fucking cast and you just stand behind her. Now these waves are coming, but right after this cast, you move to the middle crystal. And then when you get to the middle crystal, you're going to look and you're going to see which wave is closer. There's always two waves, okay? So in this case, this one's closer. Sometimes this one over here can be closer. Now, because this one's closer, you need to LOS it. So you need to be on this side of the crystal. Basically, you use this middle crystal here to continuously LOS the waves like 4 times. In this scenario, it's going to be, this is the first LOS, this is the second LOS, and then you're going to run straight through the crystal. And then this will be the third LOS. And then you're going to move to the side here. And that'll be the 4th LOS. So you basically just move around the crystal. Okay, so there's the first one. Shift over. There's the second one. Move straight through. And you shift over again. We started here. Then we went here. Then we dashed across. And then we went over here. So it's basically like a Z. Okay, and then after this crystal blows up, there's one more wave you have to LOS, and you also have to LOS the boss's ability here. She's going to do Hero's Glory, and this is you just get behind her again. When you stand behind this crystal, you do 2 things at once. You dodge the cleave, but also there's going to be a wave, a final wave, and it's going to hit this crystal here, and standing right here will also LOS that wave. So you just literally just get behind her and it solves like everything. So there's the last LOS. Oh, God. Don't run through the wave like that. Sheesh. Sorry, this was my first clear, okay? This was my first clear, okay? After you LOS this, she's just going to do Halo again, which is an AoE. She has, like, 3 different moves that are just literally AoEs. I don't know why they're called different. But yeah. All right, so this is just another tank buster, but this is going to be a little different. It's going to be a massive cleave, so it's going to look like that. So basically, just be on the opposite side of the tank. Pretty simple. Okay, this is Shining Saber again. So this is from the first phase. This is a party stack. You just stack up. That's it. No tank swap. Nope. This fight requires no tank swaps. Okay, so remember green. So green is out. So you get out. This again is just an AoE, just like Halo. Backup tank for Prague. There are tank swaps in Zodiark. Okay, so this Crystallized is going to be another... Okay, so this is a blizzard. So we're going to have to spread after this mechanic. This mechanic is always like this. It's never... There's never any variance. Okay, so this circle stuff, all it is wherever the line ends, there's going to be an AoE. So there's going to be an AoE here, an AoE here, an AoE here, you know, right here, and then all the way down here. So, like, you can start to see that there's, like, these little pockets, right? So, like, I'm safe here. There's a safe spot, like, right here. You basically just make sure that you're not at the end of a line. That's all you have to do. And then after this mechanic goes off, there's going to be spreads. And then... Remember the lateral, so you're going to want to be in the front and the back. This is just a repeat from the first phase. Okay, this is red, so that means in. Just repeat from first phase. Wouldn't it be better for 5 DPS? Maybe. I don't know. You have to tank the ads. It'd be a lot of tank damage. The DPS check is like unbelievably lenient. Yeah, this is just another tank stack. A lot of repeat stuff. Okay. All right. Party Finder is weird. Basically, there's going to be 3 different lines that go out. So this one is 1. That one's 2. This one's 3. So that means that this one is going to go off first. This one's going to go off second. This one's going to go off third. Party Finder, it seems that they're split on what they're going to do. So I'm just going to tell you the different methods. And you'll have to ask in the Party Finder because like one data center does it one way, one data center does it another way. We did it a different way. The way we do it in this video, if you look on the ground, these little circle, these little like, I don't know, this octagon or whatever this is, this thing right here, this is a safe zone. So this right here, safe. This right here is safe. And there's one like over here too, you know. Okay, so basically you use this. What we do is we actually put one group is like here, and then the other group is like here. You can stack here and be fine, but you go over here, you're fine too. So this is the first one, remember? So that means that after this one comes back in, this one's gonna come, and then this one's last. What we do is we will move out of this AoE. Then when this goes away, we move back into the AoE right here. That will mean that we are safe from this and safe from that. So because this is 1 over here, we're just gonna, right after we see it go off, we're just gonna shift here. Now, she did the water before this mechanic. So that means that there's gonna be 2 light parties. So that's why you have group 1 is here and group 2 is like here. Basically, you can wait for the animation and right when you see the water come down, you can move and you'll be safe. As long as you use this little circle here. That's one way you can do it. I'll just let this play and I'll show you how this method is done and then I'll explain the other method. So we move back into the third AoE. We have our groups. And then this cast just is basically the water shit with the things coming back in. And then we just go. And that's it. Another way that Party Finder does it is they actually go on the opposite of 3. Okay, so right here, this is the third one. So Party Finder would go right here. They would start right here. And remember, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So what Party Finder would do, they would stand here, and then after they saw the water bubble, they would move right here. It's literally the same thing. It's just a different starting position. You could do some shit where like, I don't know, like one group's here, then another group's over here. It really doesn't matter. You can 5-3 stack this too. The other way you can do this is you actually have one party here and like one party over here. And then that way you have one group here and one group here so that you can 4-4 it so that both melee are in front. But look, man, I literally just did 2 Party Finders and this Party Finder group tried to do this shit. And when they saw one group here, more than half of the people went to this one group because people don't know how to do this mechanic. I would recommend you just have both groups on the same side. That way everybody knows where the fuck they're going. That's what I would recommend, but again, it's going to be up to the Party Finder. It's whatever. But that's how you do it. You just wait by the first one. However you're going to do it, you just wait by the first one, and then you just move into it. You just move into it after it goes off. That's pretty much it. PF strat is healer LB. Well, that's later in the fight. Yeah, that's later in the fight. So, like I said, this method is going to depend on the data center, depend on Party Finder. Me personally, I like standing in the third AoE. But kind of doesn't matter. Okay, now this is blue, so it's cross. This is just AoE. Nah, the water AoE isn't bad at all. That's what I was saying. You can 5-3 stack it super easy. With literally just shields. You just need like one single thing. Okay. So, this is another light wave. I struggle with this mechanic, boys. There's 4 waves. They're not all going the same direction. And there's always going to be 2 that are closer together than the other 2. You need to find the widest gap. Because these 2 are close, it's not going to be here. So that's not the safe spot. So it's either here or it's either down here. You just find whichever the biggest safe spot is. All right, and then once you find the big safe spot, you can kind of look at the waves. And you see how this wave right here it's going to come like kind of close. Once you're in the safe spot, you look at the 2 waves that are across from you and you kind of line your party up to where one of the waves isn't going to hit it. We're okay here, but we could be a little better if we were like here. And then right here, this is going to be a multi-hit party stack into a spread and tank buster. So you just stay stacked. Yeah, you just stay stacked. You heal up. Okay, this person died. See, we could have been a little closer over here, but, you know, it's okay. Now, in the party finder, what they do is we had the tanks move through, but in the party finder, they typically have the tanks stay. So it'll look like this. The tanks will be like here, and then everyone else will spread out like this. That's typically what they do in the party finder. If you keep the tanks here, it's also more personal responsibility on the party members to not like kill each other. But like I said, man, the DPS check is so lenient in this fight that it almost doesn't even matter. Because we were in VoIP and Prog in this and shit, we just had the tanks move through. But, you know, typically the tanks are going to stand there. And then after that, you just drag the boss to the middle. You can completely ignore these waves. They'll never go through the middle. There's always going to be a nice, comfy, safe spot right in the middle. This basically just says, don't leave the middle. That's all that basically says. And then she's going to do another, it's going to be, okay, so this is water. This is water, and this is always water here. So this is a party stack into light parties. So party stack, and then light parties. And then she's going to follow it up with a red. All right. So this is in. So this is red. That's just a repeat. It basically just repeats, honestly. And then this light wave right here is identical to the previous light wave. So you just like find the two waves that are closest together, and you just move to the safe spot. And then you like look, you kind of like look to see where they're coming. And you just do the same stuff. This is exactly the same. So it's going to be a bunch of party damage with a spread and a tank buster. Yeah. And then you just pull the boss back to the middle. The waves on the outside are going to do the same thing. Same thing as before. Yeah. And then this is just, again, just another repeat. So this is sides. Some of this stuff is like, some of it can catch you off guard a little bit. So like, remember, this was a spread here, you know? So like sometimes what'll happen, like the party finder I was just in, you'll be on the sides and people will just stay there and forget to spread. So the first one's always light parties. The second one's always a spread. And I think the last one, oh, this is green. So again, just a repeat. You just run away from the boss. Don't get hit like I did, unless you're a tank, and then you can tank privilege your way. Now this last one, now we actually kill the boss here, but there's actually another rotation here. See, so she's going to do earth. So if we wouldn't have killed her there, it would have been another, I think it would have been cross, and then after cross, it would have been stack. But yeah, that's the whole fight. It's really fun, and it's, you know, relatively easy. So yeah, whole fight. All right.